So I want to thank you all for being at the live stream. Our topic today is coping and conserving in this festive season. I have persons on two platforms. I have persons on two platforms on YouTube, and I have persons on TikTok Live. I'm just trying to join in on my YouTube. All right. Now we know that it's the festive season. We know that it's a festive season, and persons are very much interested in having those pretty lights. However, with those pretty lights comes pretty money. For those who are coming in on the TikTok live and those who are coming in on the YouTube live, please, I'm asking you to just press that like button or tap the screen for the YouTube. Thank you very much. For the TikTok, thank you. Right. So we know that it's the festive season in probably next couple of days, and persons are also eager, or persons have actually started. I've seen persons started from as far as I think it's October, where they start putting up these lights. Persons started decorating. And hi guys for coming to the live. Thank you very much. Right. So persons have been putting up lights, or persons have been um preparing themselves for the festive season. Now, with all of this comes cost, and cost will come twofold. Hi, Storm Chaser. Now, Storm, um, the cost will come twofold, and let me explain it to you. One, the fact that in this season you have holidays, it means that more persons are at home and more electricity will be used. So, if you have, say, I think we have probably 3 days. Hi, Tasha. Thank you for joining. I think we have 3 days holiday. Right, because it will be celebrated on the. I think Christmas Day is on the Monday. Right, it's on the Monday, and the Tuesday is Boxing Day for some persons who have that type of holiday. For some persons, they don't have Boxing Day. Hi, Bankadan. Right. So for some persons, they don't have that type of holiday. So because of that, they will not be able to get that holiday like how some countries are used to it. So what you will find for those who have the holidays, they'll be at home using up things like the microwave to reheat food. They'll be at home watching television. They'll be at home just being on that computer, being possibly you'll have more live stream at that time. Now, because of that, you find that the electricity bills are normally higher at this time of the year. Some persons would say to you that even if they don't use it, it's going to come higher at this time of the year. And possibly in some instances that is true, but in other instances it isn't. And let me explain to you. Now, you have persons who are high expressing my view. Thank you for coming. Right. So you have persons who are decorating for this season. And with those decoration, some persons would pull on some of the older decorations that they have. So you will have the lights coming out that you had for quite a number of years. Now, if you want to decorate, or if you feel that there's a need for you to decorate, there are conservative methods that you can use to still decorate. However, you will either be paying minimal bill or none at all. And this is what you need to do. Now, I think a couple years ago they had introduced the LED string lights. And while the lights before would probably have caused you to use more electricity, the LED lights would cause you to use less, which is a good thing. However, some persons have not caught on to using the solar type of light. And majority of the times we don't leave those lights on during the day. So it would be good if you can use the solar ones, because as soon as it gets dark, those lights would just come up. Now, that would be especially useful for those persons who have these the trees or whatever lighting you want to be on the possibly on the patio, the verandas. If you place those lights there, or some persons you have, you will find them decorating on the outside of their homes, on the cantilevers, from the cantilevers to the ground. Different type of things persons do to decorate. Now, if you are going to do your form of decoration on the outside or on the patio, where the panels can be placed on the outside to catch the sun, then you will maximize and pay at least nothing for that bill. So while we do, some of us do like those pretty lights, then if you get them in a spot where they can at least get the sun on the outside, you'll benefit greatly. So that's one way you can at least see how you can cut down your cost in this month of the festive season. Because, and I don't want to say actually only this month, because some persons don't pull down their lights until um come January, probably about the first or the second week in January. You'll still see some lights up, possibly the first week in January. Now, another thing that we can maximize on, you have some of us who have the electric stove, and at this time of the year, persons tend to be cooking aggressively, and they are cooking like this in order to accommodate or facilitate families and friends over at this time. Some persons are baking, some persons are using that blender to make that juice. Whatever it is, you are using this electricity. Some persons are using those rice cookers. Some persons will be using the what's it called, the air fryers. Different things. Some persons will be using the clothes iron, because there's also the set of persons who visit loved one as well. So they are packing up to stay over. They are pressing those clothes to stay over. So it's an active season where, if we're not careful, we will use that vast amount of electricity. Now, in terms of the cooking, and by the way, this is a time when most gas, the LPG gas, those who use those type of gas, persons tend to buy them more at this time, because those gas tend to wait until a holiday or the time of of the year to just, because they're going on this cooking spree, then you find that they have to pull on the make sure that they have gas at home. Hi Tigers, thank you for joining the live. Storm Chaser is saying, any idea of what is that rice cooker draw? Um, with appliances, Storm, it varies. These things varies. What you will find happening is that it depends on the one that you would really purchase, and especially the rice cookers. I think you may can find them starting from 800, but the rice cookers, especially for those who live in our country, the rice and peas is a must. I'm not sure if the rice cookers can cook them if you're going to put in the peas prior to, but um I see more than likely the air fryers being used a lot, right? Because persons want to be healthy, so they find that using the air fryers make them feel or give them a better way to eat healthy by, probably the fried chicken. It's not in the oil. They use the air fryer. So persons will pull on those things. You're looking on sometimes even 2,400 or greater in wattage in a storm. That's the issue with it. It really does pull a lot, and it depends. Like I say, it depends on the one that you purchase. I know for me, when I'm purchasing appliances, I tend to see how best I can go as low as possible. And hi Lona, thank you for joining the live. Right, so it depends on the wattage that some persons choose. But I find that, especially at this time when persons are buying like gifts. Hi, Maureen. Thank you for coming. Right. Especially persons who are buying like gifts, what they tend to do is, hi, Motorola King. Right. What they tend to do is just they look at it with their eyes and just buy. They don't really sit and look at the wattage. I remember recently even asking someone, I saw them with a very small washing machine. And with that very small washing machine, my question was, what's the wattage? I'm still waiting to hear what the wattage is on that small washing machine. Yeah, yes, expressing our views, we tend to use our eyes. So if our eyes like the equipment, I see you over there as well, Storm. Right. If our eyes like the equipment, then we just purchase. It's not a good thing to do that, but I find that a lot of persons tend to move in that line. So the eyes like it, they move towards that. For me, I know that when I'm purchasing, I tend to look at the wattage. I tend to look at what what um what it has to offer, because sometimes, and especially I read the reviews. So if I'm buying, say, a blender, and I want that blender for um just to blend my coconuts or blend some juice, whatever it is that I'm blending. So when I'm purchasing this blender, I don't just look in the store and buy. No, I tend to check online first. And when I check online, I would possibly put in 700-watt blender. If when I look, the 700-watt blender is, thank you for listening. Yes, sleep is around the corner. Thank you very much expressing my view. Right. So if if the blender that I'm searching for, when it actually comes up, I see a portable blender, then I know, hey, I'm not going to get a regular household blender for with a 700 watt usage. So what I do is I tend to start low and then I go up. If I look and I change it now to probably say 8 800 watts. And when I look, I'm seeing some blenders that I can choose for the 800 watt. Then it means that when I'm looking in my country, I'm going to look for an 800 watt blender. So there are things that I look for first before even making the decision that I'm going to just guess up and buy a blender because I like how it looks. I don't do that. And that is one of the reasons why too for me I like to choose my own appliances. I I don't like people giving me appliances as gifts unless I would say, okay, um, say it was a bridal registry. So when I'm choosing a bridal registry or I'm choosing, say, a gift, or you're telling the person that, I would love a blender and they choose now to buy the blender for you, I'm going to give you my preferences. I'm going to tell you I'm seeking to get this blender that has 7 or 800 watt, and that would be my priority. Yes, it will be blending just like any other 1200 watt blender, but I choose to take a 800 watt blender. And that is why I rather buy my appliances myself. And for that reason, I don't really, when I'm you know for some strange reason, you may have persons who want to give you gifts. I tend to choose plants as my safest options because I know what I'm looking for in an appliance. And with looking for those things in an appliance, I don't want someone to give me something and I can't use it or I don't want to use it. So it's rather, I have this thing about me where I think it is best at all times to use what I've purchased or use what I've gotten as a gift. I have this thing about me where I think if a chair was bought to sit in, then I'm going to use that chair to sit in. I'm not one of those who is going to cover that chair and wait on an occasion or a holiday to showcase that chair. No. I think it is best for us to, hi Pinky, thank you for coming to the live. Yes, I know I do have ads. Right. I'm not one of those persons who believe that you should have something put down and not use. I think it's a waste. So, my encouragement to you is, especially for those two who have those lights and they like to put them up, but then there's something at the back of their heads that is saying, if I put up those lights, then it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me some money to have those lights. Then what's the sense that you had them in the first place? So that's another thing that you can look at. Hi, Mona. Thank you for coming. Right. So that's another thing that we can look at. Make sure that whatever it is that you're planning to do for this festive season, you consider whatever cost, and do not let the cost hold you back from whatever enjoyment. Oh, that's your second channel. Cool. Right. Do not let the cost hold you back from whatever it is that you choose to do to enjoy yourself. Because it's just like a man would have an um an air condition, and in the summer he's complaining that he's hot at home. To me, that doesn't make any sense. It honestly doesn't make any sense. And that is why over and over on my channel page, whenever I do a vlog, and I post it, I tend to say, please do not make conservation a burden. If it's a burden, then it's not worth it. It doesn't make any sense, because if it is a burden, then what will happen is what will happen is you'll stop. You will stop. So the thing is, if you do purchase something, you do purchase these lights, use them. Use them until you can come up with the free alternative or the cheaper alternative. That's the advice I'm giving. Use them until you can come up with a free or the cheap alternative. Now, another thing about this festive season is, other than having those lights and being at home, is our some persons are of the view that, hey, I did not use this amount of electricity, or I don't have those lights out, and I'm being charged for it. No, while you may not have those lights out, and it is quite obvious anyone passing your home, um, well, if you have them on the inside, they would know. But while it may be obvious sometimes that you have these lights or you don't have these lights, then whatever it is, you are going to pay some form of electricity. Remember, for those persons who have a 9 to 5, and for these 9 to 5, I'm talking about that job. So for those persons who have that job, this will now be either, I think you're looking at 20 hours or more. Hi, Boss Falcon. Thank you for coming to the live. So this is 20 hours or more that you don't have. Um, you're not either on the road going to work, or coming back from work, or you're at work. So you have to look on it like that, to say you're at home, and you're not going to just be at home and sit for the entire holidays. You're not going to be at home doing that. What you will find that is happening is you're going to try and occupy your time to enjoy yourselves. And enjoyment for some persons will be um, listening to some music, having a karaoke, watching that television, watching those movies you did not get to view, relaxing with family. Relaxing with family don't only mean you're going to read for the entire days, for these 2 days. No, it also means that you're going to be at home occupying your time. And nowadays, especially with the advent of technology and with the advent of the internet, our enjoyment tend to take us to be using these things that pulls electricity. That's what these things now do. And because they do that, you find that we are gravitating or moving towards these appliances that is going to consume that amount of electricity that we are going to be required to pay for. So it's not something that you can get around or something that you can avoid. It's something that you will have to pay for. So even though you may say, but I didn't use it, technically you did, or technically you will be using it. Unless you're going to be staying with family and friends and speaking with them for the entire 2 holidays that you have, but that's not possible. At some time throughout that holiday, you're going to need some what you would call me time. And that me time or that family time may mean watching a movie, So it's not something that you can get rid of. The bill is going to come. However, the cost of that bill will be dependent on you, you, just you. And that is why, for that reason, it is advised. I know for me, let me not go to for me yet. I know that that is why it is advisable that you try and choose your appliances carefully. Storm Chaser on TikTok is asking, can you get the LED Christmas lights at the store? Um, yes, Storm. As a matter of fact, those are the only lights they're selling now. You can only get those LED lights now. You know the usual incandescent light where hi Akira, thank you for joining the live, right? You know the usual incandescent bulbs that you used to have on those lights. Some there were some probably about an inch and a half in diameter or an inch in diameter. Those lights are not being sold anymore. So any lights that you're going to get is going to be the LED. But I think these suppliers or the resellers need to be moving away from this and getting now the solar type. And if there's any manufacturer out there that may be listening, yes, Storm, you can check on it. They only sell the LED ones now. And for those manufacturers who are listening, because the persons may want to put the trees or decorate outside, it would be good if you made the cord between the light and the panel a bit longer. And it would be good if you could have made them longer so that persons would benefit from even having the lights inside. Hi, Atoy Miller, thank you for coming. Even having the lights inside and the panel part will be outside. So as soon as darkness hits, the lights will come on. You'll find more persons gravitating towards it, because persons are really thinking about their pockets nowadays. And trust me, anything to save that dollar. Persons will do it. Because you have some persons who every year they have a theme. So if the theme is say red, they go out and they look for this red light. Storm Chaser is saying some, not all. Yes, that's true, Storm. Some persons would, but not all. Because some persons, like myself, believe in using something until it is finished. I am of that view as well that use it until it is finished. And I think I rather that view. When it is finished, then you move on to the next step. However, we have to think about the ultimate goal of conserving. And it doesn't make any sense that you would say, all right, I have this old one, it's still working, so let's give it away. If you don't want something for yourself, don't pass it on. It doesn't make any sense. All right. Now, for those persons who have the electrical stove, one of the things that I find that really brings family and friends together at that this during this festive season is cooking outdoors. Having that barbecue pan or that jerk pan outside, roasting the fish outside. These are the things that can bring family and friends together. So while you're cooking, you're enjoying your outdoor. While you're cooking, you may have that friend over and you're speaking with him or her um, while you're outside jerking or even roasting that fish. So these are some of the things that we have to think about. And when you really look at it, you leave the electric stove from consuming the electricity that you really don't want to pay for. Because remember, some of these things are going to be using now. You need the coal. And by the way, sometimes when you really check out the coal, if you were to use it every day, it would be honestly cheaper to use a gas stove. That much I can tell you. It will be cheaper to use a gas stove. However, you need that food with a difference. And for those of you who are not really used to it, or you can't really tell, there's a difference. The food that is cooked on a coal stove or a jerk, yes, you have oven jerk, but it's not the same as if you're jerking on that you're jerking with the coal fire, with the pimento leaves or the pimento stick inside. It's a different taste altogether. Even if you were to cook your rice and peas outside, it's different altogether. So see how best you can cut and reduce those costs. No, you can cut and reduce your cost as well with even the water. So from time to time again, I keep on telling you, you're cooking, you're washing that rice, wash the rice and don't throw away the water down the drain. You must have some plant or the other outside, or even the ones that you have on the patio, the ones that you have on the driveway. Take it and just water those plants. And for those of you who are into the organic stuff, I've seen persons use the rice water to just wash their hair. And there are many things that we can use and recycle, or even find an additional use to some things that we see as waste. And you'll be surprised. Things that you really see as waste can be used in another instant. You ever heard the saying, one man waste is another man's treasure? Just like that. Just like that. So you have some things that you waste, someone else will be happy to use it and get the benefit, get the pleasure from it, having things grow from it. Who to tell? Just think about it. Think about the things that you have wasted, what you can use. That's a conservation method as well. It is. So we need to probably look on into these things as well to see how best we can conserve at this time. Now you have some persons who, and like I say about the cooking, and they are cooking multiple meat. However, cooking those multiple meat, we tend to have those food left over after the family and friends are gone. Will you, hi Ren Mommy, right, will you be able to eat all of that off? Will you want to eat all of that off? So conservation as well can be, if you know you're having 10 persons over, put them in portions as to the number of persons that you're going to have over. Don't cook for 20 and you know you have 10 persons over. Yes, you don't want anyone to go away to say, hey, I didn't get enough food. However, when you really think about it, you're going to make sure that each person's have enough because you're cooking multiple meats anyway. Because some of you are cooking, you're looking about the ham, you're looking about the oxtail, you're looking about the curry goat, you're looking about the chicken. And sometimes when persons see so much food, they don't want it to eat again. Storm Chaser is saying, how is the wattage on the electric stove? Storm, I don't know. I don't know. I've never researched that. Possibly because I'm not a fan of those electric stove. I'm not a fan of it. And I'll tell you why I don't really like it. It's because it can't it can't do some of the things that my my gas stove can do. So take for instance, um, someone would give me a breadfruit. In order to look about that stove, that breadfruit, I can't do it on the stove top. I would have to put it in the oven. And yes, putting it putting it in the oven would mean that I get more out of it because it wouldn't bring the outer part to that black charcoal looking. I agree that it would give that option, but it would mean that I'm using a lot of electricity there. And another thing too, some mornings I tend to roast my sweet potatoes. It cannot be roasted on the top of an electric stove. So these are some of the things that I do look for, why I don't want an electric stove. You have some homes that getting an electric stove is a must because it's on the strata agreement where you have to get an electric stove. You can't go up there with a gas cylinder. For that, I do understand, but where I live, Storm, it is not a requirement, so I can get any which one I prefer. And for me, I prefer the gas stove. So I don't know what the wattages are on the electric stove. I can safely say for me, my research or my whatever it is that I find myself interested in, then I'll go all out in my research for that. But if I'm not interested in it, then I don't. And I don't think I'll ever be able to tell you, Storm, what's a wattage on the electric stove. It would be good, if I could probably find out though if those electric stove comes with the inverter technology where the more you use that stove to do your cooking, or the more you have that electric stove on, then the inverter technology will take over by causing you to use less electricity. It would be good to find out that, and possibly the next time I speak to my sales agent, then I'll ask her because it would be good to find out. But I don't have an electric stove and I'm not interested in them. Never will. Right. So now we're going back to the conservation. Now, with the conservation, we speak about you just washing your rice and throwing it on that veranda plant. You're at home. And as a matter of fact, for those who of us who are plant lovers, you will find that at this time of the year, you do. Motorola King is saying that he was wondering too. Right. You find that at this time of the year, you will find persons, for the plant lovers, you don't have to water every day. You don't. I have a iris plant that I have here, and I find that when I do water it, I'm not getting that dry soil as quickly. So I find I've been watching that soil, and it has been lasting me for a while. So that's an option too. that you can possibly save. Hi, Munchi Bless. Thank you for joining the live. Right. So you find that you'll save that way as well. Thank you for liking the live, Munchi Bless. Um, there are many ways that we can try to conserve, many ways, especially during this time. However, there's whatever it is that I'm telling you now, there's no way around it. If you want to not be sitting down for the entire period, not enjoying yourself, not watching a movie, or even talking to family and friends on the internet, or even having live streams like this, it's going to take electricity. It is. But, but, how much electricity will be dependent on you. I know for me, my electricity bill tend to get higher on in at this time of the month, and mine tend to get higher at this time of the month for two reasons. And I explain to you. One, even though I have a system, a solar system that is running, I have longer nights now. And longer nights for me means less sun. Less sun means my panels are not getting as much sun as they would. So I realized that my the amount of power that I get and can use in the day, it is now limited. That's one. Two, I'm at home and I'm doing things. So take for instance, like now I have a live stream. Um, I may have also as well. I am watching a movie, or and to the time when I'm at home in the evenings. Once I reach home, in order to even see inside, because it's dark quickly. Right now it's night outside. Right now it's night outside. As a matter of fact, it starts getting dark sometimes from even 5:30. So if I reach home at 5:30, which at this time of the year, sometimes it's impossible to reach home at 5:30. So if I reach home at 5:30, once I reach home, to come in, I have to turn on a light. And these are the things that I'm trying to explain to you about. So we're using more light now. We're using more electricity now. We're doing more things now. And for the days that are coming that will be on holidays, we and ourselves and our families will be using more electricity. You can't have everybody sitting down and just looking. No, the electricity will be used. And that is why I'm saying it is expected. It is normal. And don't sit and say, oh, I'm not using. No, enjoy yourselves. For me, when I come in the evening, once I'm cooking, a light has to be on. And if I'm not careful on a Sunday, when I'm looking about breakfast, a light would have to be on. So you see, these are the things that we have to think about and see how best we can control ourselves from not using the excess. But it is inevitable. We're going to use a little bit more at this time of the year. Unless we're going to be at home and in our bed in the dark. And that's no form of enjoyment. Watching movies. Some movies are out now. So watch them. Alright. Storm Chaser is saying no. What is a no for a storm chaser? Are there any other questions? And guys who are in the chat, you can ask any question that you so desire. Ask a question once it relates to conservation. Storm has been asking some very interesting questions. He wants to know the wattage on some of these items. And Storm, I think in a way I am like you. Yes, you have ways around. Right. I'm like you where when I'm thinking of buying something or thinking of an appliance, that's my first thing that I ask. What's the wattage? What is it pulling? What is it going to require of me? What is it going to require of my pocket as well? So, these are the things that we need to do. And persons need to be aggressive with that. Even for those lights that some of us are purchasing, ask. And sometimes you don't need to ask, but it's placed in an area, or it's placed in the store where you can pick it up. You pick up these the boxes of LED lights, and when you look at it, it will tell you. It will tell you. Possibly with the LED light, it tells you with probably it may go into amps. Storm Chaser is saying, we do it now, my dear. Things are expensive. Yes, it is Storm. And that's another thing too, where we even have to be using creative methods to just eat as well. To just eat. So we have to be finding the suppliers, the cheap suppliers, the distributors, persons we can get things from at a cheaper cost than what we used to pay for them. So it's true, Storm. We have to be seeking around. And another thing too that we need to do is assist. You plant sorrel, because you have some persons who plant sorrel in their yard. So if you plant sorrel and the amount that is produced for you may be so much that you are thinking that you and your family can't drink it off, offer somebody else some. We can't be selfish. We can't. Offer somebody else some. The other day I was here, and someone gave me some pepper. I was very grateful, very much grateful for the pepper, because peppers are in my country. When I went to the market, the last price I saw was $450 a pound for those little hot Scotch bonnet peppers. So if you can assist somebody with what you grow, go ahead, do it. Go ahead and do it. Because you have some persons who will just plant up, Um, Storm Chaser is saying, to what time I see the bills going to be very high this month. Yes, Storm. I'm preparing myself for a high bill as well. I know it won't be too high because of the system, but I'm preparing. I am preparing. Because I'm not going to sit at home and not have things to my comfort to enjoy myself. What what is the use of having a, a television set if I'm afraid to turn it on because of the electricity bill? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to watch my television, and I'm going to watch my television, and I'm going to use it. So trust me. For me, I'm going to use whatever it is to make me comfortable. So if I think that I want to watch a television now, turn it off, plug it out, go now around my laptop, I'm going to do that. And it's not a waste. Waste is I turn on the television and I'm not watching it. That's a waste. But I'm not wasting. I feel like I want to watch one or two movies that I may not have seen. Turn on the TV, look on the Netflix account, watch two movies that I haven't seen, I want to do that. I want to relax because, especially at this time of the year, those 2 days that are coming up are going to be my relaxation time. I can't relax in the evening when I get home because by the time you reach home from that traffic, you're tired. So it's just time to, hi James, it's just time to get a shower, get something to eat, cool off a little, and then go to your bed. That's what you will have time for. In all honesty, it's even rather difficult making a vlog at this time. It's more easier to do a live stream because doing that live stream, you just press that button and you come on and you speak. Persons join you, they ask two questions. If not, they may tell you what issues they have with their electricity. Hi, Jimmy, thank you for coming. Right, what issues you may be having, and you just go through the motion. You just go through the motion. Guys, it doesn't make any sense. You sit and you have your equipment, you want to play a little music, but you're thinking that, but if I play the music, my light bill going to go up. What are you going to do? Sit down there? Doesn't make any sense. Enjoy yourselves. Don't let it be said that if I had known, or you wait until the bill come and when you look at the bill, you see that it's still high. Because some of us are going to get estimated bills nevertheless. We may get estimated bills. We don't know what may happen. Yes, Storm, it is sticky. It is sticky. Even if you are trying to conserve, it is sticky because you have to at least make up your mind as to how you're going to do it. But then you don't want to conserve too much that you're not enjoying yourself. You're not having a life. You're sitting in the dark. Not you have a television set, but you're afraid to watch it. You have a microwave, but you're afraid to use it because of the electricity bills. Doesn't make any sense, Storm. Yes, Mozzarella King, you're in a corner. So take yourself out of that corner. While you do it. You ever hear the saying that you need to drink responsibly? It's the same thing that you need to do. Be responsible as to how you use your appliances. So don't just use the microwave and leave it plugged in or leave it on and you have those lights flashing. You're going to pay for that. So when you're finished with the microwave, turn it off, shut it down. You have that television, watch it. Don't leave it all plugged in. You're not watching it. And these are the things that create the waste. And those are the things that, even if you're not careful, a conservation method is not going to help you like that because you're wasting. Storm is saying, I think for the light people, this is the best time for them. No, it is because they do get more, and it should be for us too, because at least we get to stay at home and have a little relaxation. But we need to do it responsibly. We need to do it responsibly. So while it's their time, it can be our time as well as to what we do and how we conserve. So we can get that enjoyment. We can, but how we do it will be dependent on us. For me, I know I have a list of movies. that I need to watch. Yeah, I wouldn't under normal circumstance be at home watching ton loads of movies. But then it will be no work. I have that extra time. As a matter of fact, I may have possibly 2 or 3 days because you leave work half day on the Friday and you have the Saturday, the Sunday, and the Monday and the Tuesday. 4 days. And you're just there enjoying yourself. I'm not going to sit at home. And if I want to look for something in the bedroom or I want to look for something in the living room where I don't turn on that light, I'm going to turn on the light. Yes, yes, Motorola King. January month is when you get the bill. So, however we choose to do it will be dependent on us. Whatever bill comes will also be dependent on us. And it has to be dependent on us because we're the ones who are using this electricity. We're the ones who may not be conserving. So we turn on the television from the Friday evening we come in and we're at home Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and it doesn't turn off or shut down until we leave the Wednesday morning for work. That's not conservation, that's wasting. So see how best plan your meals, see how best you can conserve in the process. If it may mean buying some coal just to because if you're out there cooking, if you're outside cooking and you have family and friends over, it will take up some of your time entertaining while you're cooking, and then you're saving that electricity from being used inside. You're also saving yourself the hassle of running into that refrigerator too often. Just take out a bottle. Storm Chaser is saying, not you smart for the other people. Your name says it all. Thank you very much, Storm Chaser. Yes, I do try to conserve, but I know at this time of the year my bill is at its peak. I tend to get a higher electricity bill in December because I am at I'm at home for the holidays. I don't think one of these holidays have ever caught me not being at home. Possibly it's a time to give it a try, but it normally catches me at home. So once I eat my dinner and that's it. I can't just sit down there and look. I'm going to try and find something to occupy my time. And occupying my time may mean me watching a movie or two because I do like movies. So I may be on Netflix or I may be on the internet and just passing my time because there's nothing else to do. But whatever I do, I'm going to do it in a way that I don't pay that excess. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining the live. Whatever it is that I do, I'm going to do it in a way that I enjoy myself and don't make that conservation a burden. I have 1 or 2 more minutes before I end the live. Is there any question that anyone has out there? Is there any tips that you may want to use, especially at this time of the year, to conserve? Um, and conservation, please, persons, doesn't only involve light and water. It may even mean you're conserving on the gas that you buy to cook with. So take for instance you're baking that cake Put your chicken inside there as well. Put whatever it is that you have in there as well. Don't waste don't waste that heat, because you're already using that oven. So find things to put in there. Put it in there that you can really enjoy. I'm not a baking person, so I don't really have that issue. But find things that you can do to, save that high trinity, to save that not only the electricity or the water, even the gas that you use. Find things that you can put in there to save it. And please, in the process, do not, and I repeat, do not let conservation be a burden. Now I have completed an hour on YouTube, and I want to thank all of you for coming to the live stream. I wish that you would have asked more questions. Thank you very much for coming. I only do 1 hour each week. I don't do no more than the hour. I start at 6 and I end at 7, yeah, thereabout. But I only do an hour. I want to thank you all for coming, and please, 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 please remember, do not make conservation a burden. I have two